planning your dream move or visit on a budget, you'd be wise to avoid these expensive locations. Welcome to MojoTravels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most expensive European countries for 2019. Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to MojoTravels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're using 2019 data from Eurostat, based on typical household consumption expenditure. While the cost of living may vary considerably from region to region across these nations, these figures tell a pricey overall story. Number 10. The Netherlands. Famous for its fusion of cultures and rich artistic heritage, the Netherlands draws people from around the world thanks to its excellent work opportunities and general safety. In the first 3 quarters of 2018, the population grew by nearly 70,000 people as a result of net migration. While average salaries are reasonably high, those living in city centers should expect to spend around 42% of their wages on rent, with an additional 7% on bills. It costs to be fashionable as well, with a branded pair of jeans typically costing a whopping 84 euros, or over $93. Tourists beware. Number 9. The United Kingdom. There is significant wealth inequality across the UK, with London contributing most heavily in skewing the figures. The capital of England is estimated to be 54% more expensive than Manchester, England's unofficial second city. British people do love to eat out, whether in restaurants or cafes. That's not to say the convenience comes cheap. Even an inexpensive meal for one will set you back in the environs of 13 to 15 bucks, not including tip. But hey, considering the attractions across the country, it's worth it, as long as you have your eyes open about the costs. Number 8. Sweden. Known for its alpine delights and beautiful people, Sweden is a nation of clean living and scenic views. Perhaps their healthy lifestyles are aided by the fact that a bottle of beer can cost anywhere from $6 to $10. While there's no real culture of tipping in the Scandinavian nation, that's one expensive round of drinks. Though the nation boasts the 3rd fastest internet speeds on the planet, this service comes at a reasonably modest cost of 287 Swedish krona per month, equivalent to around $30. Business travelers, a bigger hit to your wallet will be the cost of dry cleaning, which can come in at an extortionate 350 krona. That's almost 50 bucks. So much for clean living. Number 7. Finland. Finland may hold rank as the happiest country on the planet, but a high quality of life definitely comes at a premium cost. The Finns are world leaders when it comes to environmentally progressive policies and actions. A single liter of gas in Helsinki will cost you the equivalent of $1.78 US, placing it as the 3rd most expensive country in the world for fuel. The Finnish government has also imposed high taxes on tobacco and soft drinks, pushing prices to around a 50% premium when compared to typical costs in the US. So a trip there may be a good time to stop smoking. Number 6. Luxembourg. There's a premium price on space in this tiny landlocked nation. Average rental prices in the most popular cities in Luxembourg hover around 1,400 euros for a 1-bedroom apartment, and hotels ain't cheap either. If you're skiing, lift tickets are gonna cost you a very pretty penny. For some very pretty mountain slopes, mind you. Now, there is an excellent public transport network across the nation, but for those looking to travel in private, taxi fares will come at a big hit to your wallet, averaging around $4 every 1.5 miles. Number 5. Ireland. You'll need to discover a pot of gold to live here comfortably. At 57% above the European average, Ireland is now the most expensive place in Europe to run a house, with combined rental, power, and maintenance costs racking up to giddying levels. Following a boom in the tech industry over the last decade, rents in Dublin are estimated to have more than doubled since 2012. Even a standard meal at McDonald's will set you back around 10 bucks. But again, if you're just visiting rather than living here, you can spend wisely and still have a good, if pricey, time. Number 4. Denmark. With a minimum wage equivalent to around $18 per hour, the cost of living in Denmark is roughly equitable when set in line with Danish salaries. Strong labor unions balance out the high income taxes to ensure that the average worker can live within their means in any part of the country. But for tourists and visitors, it might be sensible to budget before your trip. Denmark takes the top spot in Europe when it comes to the typical cost for consumer goods. Additionally, new cars, bikes, and motorcycles are more expensive than anywhere else on the continent. So don't come here looking for a Harley. Number 3. Norway. Another Nordic nation. There's a clear correlation between cost of living and the overall happiness of the nation, as Norway is another consistent top performer of global happiness reports. Groceries in Norway are around 63% higher than the EU average, ranking as the most expensive nation for bread, cereal, fruit, vegetables, and dairy products. Perhaps this shouldn't be a surprise given the nation's strict controls and laws on food imports. However, it's not all bad. Those high prices have clearly led to people shopping more carefully, with Norwegians being proven to waste very little of their food, following an active campaign to reduce food waste by 50% by 2030. Number 2. Switzerland. Regularly listed as one of the most expensive nations on the planet for tourists, living in Switzerland can be equally taxing on your bank account. In fact, the cost of living in Switzerland is 94% higher than our 9th place entry on this list, the United Kingdom. If you move here, compulsory health insurance in Switzerland will set you back at least $335 per month, with average transport costs adding on another $468. According to The Economist's Big Mac Index, just the basic sandwich costs the equivalent of $6.45. Are you loving that? Number 1. Iceland. It's not just the hot springs that'll make you sweat in Iceland. Average monthly bills for their 355,000 citizens are higher than any other place in Europe. With such a tiny population, the country struggles to compete on economies of scale, meaning that everyone ends up paying a premium for even the most basic of imported goods. A plain cheese pizza and a glass of wine will cost the equivalent of $30 US. But despite all this, Iceland is still polled among the happiest places in the world, with a booming tourist sector. Travelers deem it worth it. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoTravels. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.